Ever said I quit? And how'd that work out for you? I'm Marty with you here at Warehouse and Operations as a Career. Everyone had a great week? Mine's been busy. I've strayed a bit from my normal operations task and have been helping develop a couple of different training classes. Let's see, what else took up some time this week? I've helped develop a couple of employee engagement surveys. Let's see, I've been busy working with several different supervisors on termination forms. More too, I guess. What is a termination form, and how should their company's forms be filled out correctly? You know, leads and supervisors sometimes, or it appears sometimes, they associate termination forms as an employee being fired. Actually, I've found that very few associates are ever actually fired. So I've been working on a few episodes that's coming up. I've lined up some really great guests, and they'll be sharing their expertise with us this month. I think you'll enjoy them as much as I'm going to. Since I don't have a particular topic for today, let's just kind of review my journal from this week. I think we can learn something from all of those bullet points. While I was putting together a few notes and developing some instruction for term forms, I had the opportunity to think about the words "I quit." Now, a termination form is really just what it says it is. It's generally not meant to mean I fired someone, so here's the paperwork. It is the form that companies use to document and remove an individual from the payroll system. Maybe any insurance policies, turn off any access badges to the building or the time clocks. Maybe they have a recurring charge for something like magazines or something that the company pays for. Gosh, there's a lot of things that have to happen when someone leaves their employer. Even things like program passwords and email accounts, those things have got to be changed to protect the ex-employee from someone else using them improperly. Say that an employee is moving or, going back to school, maybe had a life-changing event, who knows. Let's say they've even won the lottery. Someone will have to turn in a termination form on them. All it means is that the employee and employer are parting ways, and it's usually on good terms, but a termination form will be filled out and used to pass around to the various department heads to take them out of their individual systems. You know, I've found most separations are voluntary. Of course, there are some that are checked involuntary, meaning the corrective action process has played out and the individual has been fired or, maybe released from their duties. I see something like that every once in a while with things like attendance issues or problems with productivity, things like that. And of course, I hope if we're supervisors or leads that we've given the associate every opportunity to improve. I'm sure I've mentioned before how personally I take it when an employee has to be let go. Did I not train them properly? Did I not explain the rules and the expectations in a way that they could understand them? And then the big one, did I counsel them, spend time with them one-on-one, ask them how better I could aid them in correcting the problem? So that's really all that a termination form is. It's nothing negative in any way. Actually, if we have system access, email, things like that, they really kind of help protect us by separating our names from them. So let's get back to I quit. This week I helped put together a couple of different type of employee surveys. One of them was for an exit interview that companies can use for employees that quit, walk off the job, or maybe they were hired but never showed up to work, or only worked for like a week and never came back in or called anyone. You know, in our industry, we see a lot of that, I guess. I'm not sure why, really. I think maybe since we can go out tomorrow and find a general labor or forklift or order selecting position, and if we're just thinking of our job as a job instead of a career, we're a bit prone to get upset or frustrated and utter those words, "I quit," either to our bosses or ourselves, and poof, we're gone. Now, that's definitely not the right way to handle the situation, but in our field, it happens, and pretty regularly. So saying I quit makes us feel a little better. I think we only push ourselves to say it when we've allowed ourselves to get frustrated, or maybe we've accepted a position that's a little harder than we thought, or out of our skill set and we don't want to learn it. I think sometimes we let a recruiter or hiring agent talk us into something we don't really have experience in, probably because we like that hourly wage that comes along with it. Or, and I see this pretty often, we'll exaggerate our skills just a bit, thinking we can learn it on our own. You ever done that? Now that we've said I quit, we have no job. We're back to searching the job boards, putting in applications online, or driving around knocking on doors and filling out applications, interviewing with hiring agents. Is there anyone that likes interviewing? Anyone not get all anxious during an interview for a job? Could we have maybe went to our manager and told them, look, this job just isn't what I thought it was. I'm sorry if I've wasted your time, but I don't think I'll be coming back tomorrow. He or she can make plans with that kind of information. Maybe they'll even have another position that they could offer us. And as for that walking away at lunch, come on now, couldn't we have again gone to our supervisor, told them something like, hey, I don't like this job, or I just can't do the job. I'll try and finish up for you today, but this just isn't going to work out. By doing that, we're being much fairer to our boss and team. We were looking for a job. They gave us one. And although it's not going to work, I feel we need to hold up our end of the bargain. And, just being fair and honest will pay off. I promise you. That reminds me, last month I ran across an old boss that I hadn't seen in over 10 years. She's with a different company now. We're both still in the same industry, and she was able to help me out with an introduction to someone else. It's very beneficial to never burn any bridges. And if you're ever asked to do an exit interview with your old HR department, or if, we're sent an exit survey, we should answer it and reply to it. Now, I think it's important, again, to be honest. If we quit for a reason to do, something with the company, we should say it. But if we quit for some reason to do with us personally, we should be honest and say that too. Companies only ask for those interviews to help determine what's wrong, and if there's something they can do better on their end. Even if it turns out that their hiring agent needs to better explain the position or the expectations to the candidates. Ghosting or walking away isn't going to help us or the company to make any changes. So for those that said I quit before and just left, other than that good feeling for a minute, what'd we really get out of it? I'd love for you to shoot us an email to host@warehouseandoperationsasacareer.com and share your thoughts with us. Was it a good thing or a bad thing, or how did it really work out for you? Quitting is inevitable sometimes. I'm not saying I think we have to give a formal 2 weeks notice. I'd hope that we would, but at the very least, I think we need to go communicate with our supervisor. See how I slid that word communicate in there again? Maybe we didn't do our due diligence research in the company or the position itself. We may have exaggerated our skill set just a little, or it could be that the company's just not the place we want to work for a long period of time. In my experience, if we'll go talk to someone, communicate our unhappiness or concerns, maybe something can be changed. At least we've done our part, right? Work is something we're going to have to do the rest of our lives. Jumping from one job to another, it takes a toll on us, and we're not really furthering our experiences. We're in it for the long haul, ladies and gentlemen. We need to really enjoy what we're doing, be the best at it, and make that money. Join us on our Facebook or Twitter feeds using that little @ WHSEANDOPS. If you'd like to talk more about quitting our jobs. It's so easy to do, but man, a lot of times we're going to invest more time and money into finding another one, and it'll be just as bad for us. It's just so much easier to plan out what we want and then go get that one. I hope I brought up something or a point that you can relate to today. and that you'll be joining us next week. I'm planning on having a guest on that we can all learn a lot from. Until then, please be safe in the workplace. We all have someone that'll be affected if we let anything happen to us or our peers.